Round number 3 underway. Looks like Ben is opening up the Sneasel here on the left. And Nomar opening up the Mareep on the right. That Mareep does have the Fluffy Pillow ability, able to just put both active Pokemon to sleep once per turn. Nomar starting us off strong with a Level Ball searching his deck. Gonna map out those prizes and see what he does and does not have access to this round. On the bench too, that his arm is covering. I don't know what Pokemon that is, but as soon as his arm moves, we will see what it is. But we saw Nomar playing it last round. He was playing this Lightning deck. It unfortunately didn't set up in time to get past Isaac's wall of just a million fire Pokemon that he could just set up really quickly. Then there's Voltorb on the bench as well, along with this Electabuzz. Electabuzz will turn into that crazy Electivire that is just a sweeper in this Lightning deck. Professor's Letter, very powerful card in this format, being able to search out 2 of your basic energy cards from your deck. GLC loves this. So we're searching out these 2 Lightning. And Nomar probably will attach one of these energies to the Electabuzz. And then call it a day, more than likely. Sack is ready to go to the party. Yo, thank you so much for that host. Shout out Sack17. How'd your stream go, man? How's it going? Thank you so much for that raid. Oh my goodness, what are y'all doing in here? Welcome everybody to Fiji's Fight Club. This is a in-person tournament I host out of my house every other Wednesday. And right now we are hosting the GLC format. Last week we had Standard. And this week I really just wanted to give back to the players because they've been asking me for GLC for a couple weeks now, and I keep telling them yes, I will, and I just keep putting it off. So why not bring in the new month with the fun format? Thank you so much, Tritty Cent TCG, for that follow. Oh my gosh, all of you are insane. Thank you so much. How'd that stream go, Sack? What did we play today? Yo, and Ben Reed starting off his very first turn of the game after Nomar had a pretty, pretty standard turn 1. I wouldn't say explosive because his board isn't just full of energies and Pokemon yet, but we do see 3 very important Pokemon already in play on Nomar's side. Having that Voltorb that will turn into the Electrode that says you can draw up to 4 cards in your hand once per turn. The Electabuzz that turns into that really crazy Electivire from the Rebel Clash expansion. And then this Mareep that'll give him access to a Dynamotor Flaffy. Ben cracking that Gloria. Gloria is an amazing supporter to come out of the Brilliant Stars expansion. And let me go ahead and get that on the screen for us, chat. Gloria. Where is it? My trainer cards. And something to note to everybody that's just now getting here, I do all the self-production here for these tournaments. I just host them out of my house. I'm up in my bedroom right now. I literally have a camera going downstairs pointing at a table, and I just have a bunch of my friends here playing in a tournament, and it's a lot of fun. So if any of you live in the Central Florida area, come check this place out. But Gloria, an amazing card to come out of the Brilliant Stars expansion. This is essentially a better Bridget. Search your deck for up to 3, or it's basically the same thing as Bridget, because Bridget said search your deck for 3 basics or 1 Pokemon EX and put it on your bench. Gloria just says search your deck for 3 basic Pokemon that don't have a rule box and put them onto your bench. So, rule box just encompasses anything that's a V, a GX, EX, VMAX, Mega, any of those subtext Pokemon. It is just Bridget, essentially, yeah. So, actually, Bridget with 1 less effect. Yeah, it's technically a worse Bridget, yeah. Trashy being right there in the chat, but I don't know. I like it better than Bridget. When did we ever search 1 basic Pokemon EX with Bridget, right? Like, I don't know. I never saw that happening too often when that card was played heavily in Standard. Bridget can get Vs and GXs. But there's, I don't know, I just don't see us playing that in Expanded really either. Unless I'm just out of my mind and not paying enough attention to Expanded. I just feel like there's so much better cards to play. Like items that just do what you want them to, or items that just do that same thing. Oh, yeah, I feel you. And Nomar finding that air balloon for his active Mareep, getting it attached. But Ben, ending his turn on this Galarian Weezing, he did push that Coughing right up to the active and use its Ascension attack that just says, search your deck for a Pokemon that evolves from this Pokemon and put it on top of it. So Ben immediately going into his Galarian Weezing, now shutting off all abilities on Nomar's side. And just a pass back to Ben, Galarian Weezing doing its thing. And we see the Galarian Moltres enter Ben's hand. No energies to go with it. Devoured Field in play to bump the Stormy Mountains. We're going to build some Spite on that Spirit Tomb. And more than likely to see Ben announce Severe Poison on the Galarian Weezing to pass his turn. Now, the real question is, are EX lowercase and EXs the same rule type? I mean, it does have a rule box, doesn't it? Mareep is 50 HP. Let me just be sure. Yeah, because it has an ability, and usually the ability ones have less HP. Yeah, so 50 HP on it. Yeah. So Severe Poison is just going to put some Severe Poison onto the active Mareep, adding 40 damage in between turns instead of the usual 10 from Poison. So Nomar does have to get he does need to retreat this Mareep out of the active before it does get knocked out due to the poison. This card is very important for Nomar's strategy. We do see an Ultra Ball in his hand, so he's deciding here what to discard. I could only assume we're immediately going for that Electivire and just going to start taking knockouts on Ben's board until it is dealt with. And we'll get Electivire on the screen. And we saw this card earlier. I think we've only really had Lightning on the right side of the screen today so far. Lots of Lightning at this tournament. It's a fun deck. But yeah, but V's and EXs aren't the same, but they have the same rule box effect. I don't know, dude. That's a question for Will Darling. We'll have to ask him eventually. Evolution Incense doesn't even need to use the Ultra Ball to find the Electivire. We'll still probably see him play it, though, to search out either one of these other Evolution Pokemon. Nomar is pretty set, though. He will take a knockout with this Electivire. It does have 140 HP. I believe the Spirit Tomb is only doing 10 plus 30 for each counter on it, so that's not enough to knock out the Electivire. So this thing will live to see a few turns, unless Ben just goes stand in Zoroark and attach DCE to take the knockout here, but I don't see that in his hand, that combination of cards in his hand. It is definitely a question that would get laughed at in Verbeek and then asked in Hell. Yeah, true. I don't think people even use Hell anymore, though. The juniors and seniors kind of ruined that page. We're floating into the Electivire, and it is going to take a big fat KO onto the Galarian Weezing. Nomar taking the first prize in this set. Ben, back to him. We see Sneasel in the active. There's 2 abilities on play for Nomar, so if he was to evolve into his Evil Admonition Weavile, he could deal 100 damage with that attack. But I think the best option we have here is to get out that Zoroark and find a double colorless energy, but that combination of cards is not in Ben's hand currently. So we can just see some Building Spite onto the Spirit Tomb, going up to 3 counters. And let's go ahead and put that on the screen too, because this is probably what Ben's best attacker is this turn. And Ben actually just dropping the Galarian Moltres for no effect and putting it into the active and using it as a wall, essentially, Doesn't want to give up the Spirit Tomb just yet. It is not doing enough damage to knock out the Electivire, so he does not want to waste it on just doing a little bit of damage. 369, 100. If he builds Spite one more time and attaches that Muscle Band in his hand to it, he can take the KO there. Terrence Curran asks, what kind of format is this? This is the GLC format, Gym Leader Challenge. So this is a community-made format. It was birthed by the Tricky Gym community, so Andrew Mahone and company. This is that singleton. So it's a singleton format with the expanded card pool. You can only play one of each card, and no rule box Pokemon are allowed. So you can't play any Vs, V Maxes, GXs. You can't play EXs, anything like that. But you can play all the cards from the card pool of expanded. So that's Black and White base set all the way to what we have now in Sword and Shield Brilliant Stars. Nomar taking another knockout with this Electivire. So this format's really cool because it just opens up for a lot of cool gameplay options where, like, a lot of really bad rares and holo rares that you would never see played in the standard format of the game or the expanded format even could find a home in this format. And another cool thing about this format too is it's called Gym Leader Challenge. So what do you think when you think of that name, right? You're a gym leader. Kind of like in the video game where the gym leaders all had one type of Pokemon they all played with. So in this format, you select a color before you build your deck, and then all your Pokemon can only be within that typing. So, like, I want to play a Lightning deck. I can only play Lightning Pokemon. I want to play a Dark deck. I can only play Dark Pokemon. Yeah, this format's pretty sweet. If you like Tricky Gym, he's a guy that made this format, and I know they played a lot in his Discord on Tuesday nights. So yeah, shout out Andrew Mahone. Really cool guy. And his whole community for coming up with this really sick format. Ben taking his first prize of this game, going down to 5. That Spirit Tomb with building Spite. He didn't even need to attach the Muscle Band either because of that Devoured Field, adding 10 more damage to Dark and Dragon Pokemon's attacks. Very cool stadium card. Thanks, Kanye. Attaching Lightning to the Regieleki, using Dynamotor to attach another energy to the Regieleki. Can we find Electric this turn to attach that third energy? Hoping to get that Tetra Spark off on the Regieleki. Terra Spark, sorry. 120, discard all lightning energy from this Pokemon's attack, does 40 damage to your opponent's bench Pokemon. Hex Maniac. So Ben cannot build Spite this turn. He's going to float into the Regieleki, and it will deal the 20 damage left to knock out this Spirit Tomb. Nomar moving down to 3 prize cards remaining. Ben sitting at 5. Quick Ball searching out Ben a basic Pokemon of his choice, going for the Guzzlord. His opponent's at 3 prizes, so we can use Beast Ring. Beast Ring gonna search out 2 Dark Energies and attach him to this benched Ultra Beast Guzzlord here. A broken card for this format. Guzzlord with that red Banquet attack dealing 120, and if your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, you take 1 more prize. So if Ben can just find the double colorless energy, going for the copycat, shuffling his hand into his deck and drawing equal cards to the amount of cards that his opponent has in their hand. No, yeah, if we had a better camera, you'd probably be able to see it. My bad, guys. I tried asking if I could borrow the cool camera from work that I used at the Cool Stuff streams, and they hit me with a no real fast. So we're just left with the cool webcam. But yeah, Nomar does already have the Flaffy in play. He's looking for that Electric. He wants that really bad. And judging off of Ben's draws here, he didn't hit the double colorless energy like I thought he did. Checking his discard, see what he has access to. And Ben did not hit that double colorless. Very large hand, though, on his side. He only beast ringed as well, so he does have access to just attaching an energy and ooh, but I don't see it there either. Rescue Stretcher. Let's see what effect he chooses. Picking up the tomb. Gonna add it back to his hand, but he's just gonna put it straight into play. He hexed you can't do that. Hold on. Hey, he hexed you, right? Oh, there we go. That was a quick one. Hex Maniac is currently in play too, so Ben can't use Building Spite on his Spirit Tomb to attach or to put a damage counter onto it. Hex Maniac is a very oppressive supporter from the Ancient Origins expansion that said all abilities are turned off until the end of your opponent's next turn. Yeah, Ben is droughting really hard right now, not able to find the support or the cards he needs. So we see a teammates entering his hand here from this Pokegear. This will guarantee him the double colorless energy next turn. Granted, he does just feed Nomar a knockout here. Ben hoping to just catch up in prizes too with this Guzzlord. But if Nomar does have access to a Guzma, an Electro Power, and a Muscle Band, I believe this will take KO onto the Guzzlord. So what Thunder Assault does, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Okay, so he'd be short. So you'd probably have to go Tetra Spark this turn. Yeah, Nomar wants to go Tetra Spark, put 40 onto the Guzzlord, and then finish it off with the Zapdos, if anything. So like take the KO here in the active, the 40 and 40, probably 40 on the Zora, 40 on the Guzzlord. And Ben just passing back over to Nomar. Ooh, Muscle Band in the discard pile on Nomar's side. Alright, cool. Oh yeah, I was on the Vire. That's true, that's true. So easy to keep track of cards in this format, chat, seeing as I can only play one of them, like I said. Nomar rock in a hard place right now. He wants to find this lightning energy. We see it in his hand. Okay, so he doesn't need to find it. But where are the other two evolutions? I mean, they're not in his prizes. We see right there his last three prizes: Multi-Switch, Quick Ball, and the teammates. I mean, if I'm a betting man, you know, it's I think he probably just wants, like, okay, what if he just, okay, so here's Field Blower to take out the Tool and that Stadium. Doesn't hit the Muscle Band on the Guzzlord, but maybe Nomar seeing like it doesn't matter. All my Pokemon that were above that HP threshold are already gone anyway, so it's not like, it's like 120 is knocking out most of his board anyways to begin with, so that's probably why we didn't go for the Field Blower on that. But yeah, think about that, right? Everything is already 120 and below. You know, he wants to get rid of the things that are actually gonna do something against his board, or that helps Ben's board in turn. So getting rid of the Float Stone was the best option there. Now he can't just freely retreat and pivot into things. Ben has to guarantee that he has to literally just blindly commit to something because he doesn't have a way to pivot, you know what I mean? So he has to commit to the Guzzlord now going into his next turn. Yeah, and there's that third energy on the Regieleki, but opting to just retreat for free into the Zapdos. Thunderous Assault is going to take a KO. Ben moving down, or sorry, Nomar moving down to 2 prize cards remaining. Ben sitting on 5 still. So Teammates is going to be the supporter of choice for Ben's turn. Does have to find the Twin or the Double Colorless. We see option 1. There's the Twin as well, so we do have access to that. There's option 2. And this is going to be a really big threat taken away from Nomar's board here. Getting rid of the Zapdos will be huge. This card can just freely fly around the board and deal 70 whenever it wants. We now have access to trade as well on this Liepard. searching that out as a second option from the teammates. Liepard is a Stage 1 Dark Pokemon from the Brilliant Stars expansion that says, once per turn, you can discard a card to it to draw 2 cards. And you'll never guess what the name of the ability is, Chad. It's Trade. Same ability on our good old friend Zoroark GX. And speaking of Zoroark, the stand-in Zoroark now entering the field has that ability stand-in. Once per turn, you can just force it into the active, and it doesn't take away your retreat for turn. Red Banquet, gonna take the KO. Gonna take 2 prizes off of it. Guzzlord making moves. Nomar pivoting into, or going into Flaffy, free to pivot into whatever else he needs now. Draws Nest Ball for turn, it looks like. Alright, so now this is looking rough for Nomar here. So actually, no, if he gets Electro Power, Terra Spark knocks out the active. Right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 120. If he hits the power, it goes to 150. I don't know if he played the power yet. Jacob, did you see him play the power yet? Alright, so here's teammates. We did see a knockout. Ben did take a knockout on his last turn, so teammates is now live for Nomar. Teammates is probably one of the best cards. Like, if you had to make a top 5 list, teammates is easily in there for best cards in GLC. Whenever you are, everybody, I mean, everyone's taking knockouts. These are all 1 prizers with really low health pools. And this card says, when your opponent takes a knockout on the turn prior, you can search your deck for 2 cards. So, search your deck for any 2 cards. You have to show them to your opponent either. Any 2 cards. So right here, Nomar is going to find the 2 cards he needs to make this turn go better for him. I can only assume one of those is the Electro Power. We'll see based off of these 2 cards that enter his hand. Nomar being really good about it, and I can't even see what's in his hand. There's Rescue Stretcher. Sorry about that. Rescue Stretcher grabbing back that Electivire. Going... he's back. And he's angry. No special energy attached to it yet, though, so it won't get that added damage. Do we see... okay, so debating on it, here's Escape Rope. So if we don't have access to Electro Power, Escape Rope's the next best thing. Ben decides to feed him the Hoopa with Assault Gate. Ben does have a Escape Rope of his own, so we will be able to see the Guzzlord come back into the active again and start dealing more damage. Alright, and here is that setup I was talking about. We're going to see Tetra Spark come out for 120, hitting the active, and then 40 and 40. 40 will go onto the Guzzlord, and 40 will go onto whatever else Nomar needs. Because the idea here is, then Ben will take his knockout, and then Nomar will just find a way to pivot into... oh, Zapdos is gone. Fair. Zapdos is gone. I mean, if he has another recursion card to get Zapdos back, that could just be another thing he does as well. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he already burned Super Rod. I know he played Stretcher. But if Nomar hasn't played Super Rod yet, he can put the Zapdos back in the deck, and that can be another attacker to clean off the Guzzlord. So right there, you see Terra Spark coming down, and it's going to hit the bench for 40. Or hit the bench Guzzlord for 40, and hit the bench Liepard for 40. Knocking out the Hoopa. Nomar moves down to 1 prize card remaining. Ben is still at 3. So, if I'm Ben, I think we just don't give a crap at all about this Regieleki right now. And we just hunt the Electivire or one of the Dynamotors and take 2 prizes on it. Because the idea is Ben just can't get knocked out next turn. This is where you check the opponent's discard pile too and see, like, okay, did they already play Lysander? Did they already play bosses? Sorry, did they already play Lysander bosses? Did they already play Guzma? Did they already play the Escape Rope? A number of cards you need to check for, because this is a situation where Ben, like, can't actually mess up. He has to... So, like, this turn we are attacking with Guzzlord. We have to take 2 prizes. We have to keep continuing that. Has the highest HP pool as well out of all of his mons at the moment. It's just looking real scary right now. We see energy go down onto the Weavile. It does have Evil Admission. It can swing for 50 times 50 for each ability on your opponent's side. It does have 30 more HP than its stage below it as well. But N would be massive here if Ben doesn't have anything else to go with it, or Marnie. Yep, so there's the N broken card, putting No More down to 1 prize card. Ben won't be able to take out the immediate threat on the back, which is that Electivire. But the idea here is, it's like, if you have it, you have it. Putting him down to 1 card as well is massive. So unless Nomar is 1 card for turn, or the one card he gets here off of N, and then his 1 card for turn is a Electrode. He needs to hit the Electrode, so he can draw more cards, and hopefully find a way just to get this Electivire powered up, because he can go Attach for turn and then Dynamotor, and he has all the ways in the world to retreat right now too. Red Banquet, Ben going down to 1 prize card himself. Nomar pivoting into the Coco. Does he have it? What are these last... Oh my gosh, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. This is crazy. This is a really close game. Scoop up net to pick up the Voltorb, and then Tate and Liza. Yeah, you still shuffle the deck. It's Kenboy just... Oh my god, got him. Yo, shout out to It's Kenboy. Thank you so much for the sub, bro. I miss you, man. We sing your name in Legends. Shout out to It's Kenboy. He's been one of the homies for the longest time on this channel. No, we don't. Alright, so out of these 5 cards, does Nomar find a special energy? Does he find a special off of this? We see Super Odd. Regieleki going back. The Zapdos as well. This is such a close game. Oh my goodness. Alright, Ultra Ball. Discarding 2 to get back Electric. Does Nomar have it here? Okay, so we have access to 2. Oh, he's putting cards up on the discard pile upside down. Yeah, those are going back into your deck still. This is going to be a crazy turn. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so he's only... this Guzzle will get up to 130 damage on it. Guzzlord's sitting at 150 base. So it's at 110 left. Nomar needs the energies and then a modifier. Does he have a modifier? Retreats. It does 90. Ooh, but Electivire has 104. Oh, but yeah, Muscle Band's attached, so we'll just knock it out. Oh, and it's... Is he paralyzed too? Went for Thunder Shock.